My sister and parents secretly used a dangerous, illegal skin whitening cream on me until my face was scarred beyond recognition, so I cut them off completely and rebuilt my life on my own. 2 years later, terrified and broken, my sister showed up on my doorstep begging for my help, and I haven't decided if I can ever forgive her betrayal. I and my twin sister, Katie, were like the sun and the moon. When I refused to eat, she'd quietly leave a small bowl of sliced strawberries with melted chocolate by my bedside. She knew it was the one thing I couldn't resist. She was the only one who truly understood me. One day, we were in the car with our parents. Girls just want to have fun playing. We saw a car speeding toward us. My mom's reaction time was too slow, but Katie's wasn't. She knew we both weren't wearing seatbelts. Instead of buckling herself in, she reached across to secure me right as the impact happened. 8 days later, I was standing at her grave in a black dress with the tags still on. I never stopped setting her place at the table. On lonely days, which was most of the time, I'd go into her room and spray her warm vanilla sugar bath and body works mist. I'd pretend she was still there, listening, holding me while I cried. A year later, she came back from the dead. Or at least, that's what my parents wanted me to believe. That's when they adopted a 14-year-old girl, 3 months older than me. Michaela was bubbly, had a gummy smile, strawberry blonde hair, and was outspoken. She was the kind of girl to pet every dog she passed. But she still wasn't Katie. Even though a gray cloud loomed over my head daily, I didn't want to bring down the mood. So I started spending more time alone in my room. Every day, I had the same routine, noise-canceling headphones, listening to the same 5 Sam Smith songs on repeat, crying until my face was swollen. Sometimes, to cheer myself up, I'd go to Katie's Spotify profile. I'd listen to every song, reading the lyrics, trying to picture what she felt. Meanwhile, I could always hear my parents having a blast downstairs. They'd laugh, chat with Michaela about school, and play Xbox. By then, they'd removed all photos of Katie. If I ever brought her up, they'd look at me with disgust, as if just saying her name could cause another death. It was like she never existed. As months passed, I grew more depressed. I'd wake after 14 hours of sleep and try to go back to sleep to avoid the day's pain. When that failed, I'd purposely starve myself all day to sleep longer. To my parents, I was just a reminder of their lost daughter. They spent less time with me, more with Michaela. They stopped inviting me to family movie nights. I'd just hear popcorn popping and Michaela's laughter downstairs. I know they heard me crying nightly. I didn't even try to hide it. But only my orange cat, Nyla, came to comfort me. She'd sit on my chest, purring until I stopped hyperventilating. She was the only one awake at 2 a.m. as I replayed memories with Katie to ensure I never forgot how she made me feel. Things got so bad that sometimes I'd bring Nyla into the room to stop myself from self-harm. I knew I could never do it in front of her. One morning, I woke to feed her, and she was gone. I shook her food bowl, checked her usual spots, under the sink, under my bed, the gap between the washing machine and dryer. It was like she'd vanished. That's when my parents broke the news. Oh, Michaela developed a pretty bad allergic reaction towards Nyla, so we put her down since she was getting old anyway. I didn't even argue. I just walked to Katie's bedroom and cuddled her pillow, crying my eyes out. If you've experienced raw, intense grief, you know the hunger to uncover more about what they felt and thought before they died. That hunger led me to a pink leather notebook I'd never seen, her diary. Jackpot. I clung to every word, reading it through Katie's eyes, picturing the thoughts behind every sentence. After pages about dumb boys or math homework, I found it. Paragraphs about parental abuse when I wasn't around, how they took their anger out on her, how she forced herself to look strong and happy when I was around. Her last sentences sent chills down my spine. At this point, our dad was hitting her relentlessly. Katie finally fought back. She yelled at them for being shitty parents. Maybe it's time you learned how fragile life really is, Katie, my mom said. That was her last diary entry. Suddenly, it all made sense. Why my parents replaced her quickly. Why Katie reacted so fast in the car. She knew what was coming. She wasn't just saving me from the crash, she was saving me from them. I sat frozen for hours, hands shaking, barely able to hold the diary. Everything clicked. The accident wasn't an accident. My parents planned it. They wanted to get rid of Katie because she was fighting back. I felt sick. Memories flooded back. Katie jumpy around them, always insisting on being the one to talk to them, always positioning herself between me and them during arguments. I heard footsteps. I shoved the diary under Katie's mattress. My mom poked her head in. Dinner's ready. Michaela made lasagna, she said with a smile that didn't reach her eyes. I noticed how cold those eyes were, like ice chips. I mumbled something about coming down soon. As soon as she left, I grabbed the diary and photographed the most important pages with my phone. I needed evidence. I needed proof. I was terrified I was next. My hands trembled. Some photos were blurry, but I kept trying until I had clear images of every damning page. The next morning at breakfast, I watched my parents. They seemed normal, laughing at Michaela's story about her science teacher. How could they act like this? I barely touched my food. The scrambled eggs looked like yellow rubber, the toast like cardboard. You should eat something, my dad said, noticing my full plate. You're getting too skinny. His concern seemed so genuine I almost doubted what I'd read. Almost. His voice made my skin crawl. I remembered Katie's writing about him hitting her. I couldn't look him in the eye. I stared at his hands, the same hands that hurt my sister, now casually holding a coffee mug. The threat wasn't lost on me. Someone meant a therapist, which meant they could declare me unstable. I forced a few bites to get them off my back, swallowing fear. After breakfast, I went back to Katie's room. I needed to read more of the diary, but it was gone. I tore the room apart, nothing. The panic made it hard to breathe. Michaela's expression changed slightly. I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe your mom took it when she was cleaning. I didn't believe her. My mom never cleans Katie's room. I'm the only one who goes in there. I stood fuming, deciding what to do. I had the photos, but I needed the actual diary. It was my only real proof. That night, I couldn't sleep. I thought about Katie, the crush, my parents' strange behavior. I looked at the diary photos on my phone. They were gone. All of them. Not just diary pages, but every photo I'd taken in the last year, including Katie and me together. I nearly screamed. Someone deleted them. I had a good idea who. The next morning, I confronted Michaela before school. Cornered her in the bathroom. Look, they think it's unhealthy how you're clinging to Katie's memory. They want you to move on. But the damage was done. I saw it in her face. She was going to tell them. I knew I had to act fast. After Michaela left, I grabbed my backpack and ran to school. I needed time to think without her watching. The whole walk, my mind raced. My parents had killed Katie. They'd replaced her with Michaela. Now they were erasing any evidence Katie existed. During first period, I couldn't focus. I thought about the diary and deleted photos. I needed that diary back. I also needed to copy evidence somewhere Michaela couldn't access. The bell rang and I sprinted to the computer lab. I made a new email account, wrote down everything I remembered from the diary, every detail of Katie's abuse. I emailed it to myself, then deleted it from the sent folder. At least now I had something. When I got home, my parents were waiting. Michaela sat between them, smug. We need to talk about your behavior, my dad said, calm but angry. Michaela told us you've been accusing us of terrible things. I glanced at Michaela. The little snitch. I didn't accuse anyone, I said carefully. I just asked about Katie's diary. My mom's face hardened. There is no diary. You're making things up again. Again. When had I ever made anything up? My hands shook. We're worried about you, my dad continued. You've been isolating yourself, not eating, talking about Katie like she's still here. And now these accusations. We think you need help, my mom finished. Professional help. I knew what that meant. They wanted to lock me up, declare me crazy, just like they planned with Katie. I'm fine, I insisted. I just missed my sister. It's been over a year, my mom said sharply. It's time to move on. Michaela is your sister now. I looked at Michaela, who gave a triumphant smile. She wasn't my sister. Never would be. I have homework, I muttered, heading for the stairs. No one stopped me. That night, I waited for everyone to sleep, then snuck into Michaela's room. I needed that diary. I searched everywhere, nothing. Then I saw her trash can. Torn into pieces were Katie's diary pages. My heart sank. I gathered as many as I could, spent hours trying to piece them together. Useless. Too many pieces missing. I sat on my bed, crying silently, missing Nyla. The next morning at breakfast, Michaela was extra chipper. I made pancakes for everyone, she announced. I stared at the food, not trusting it. Eat up, my dad insisted. I took a small bite. The sauce tasted bitter. I immediately knew something was wrong. I discreetly spit it back onto my plate. Actually, I'm not feeling well, I said. I think I'll go lie down. My parents exchanged a look. I'll bring you some tea, my mom offered. No thanks, I said quickly. I just need to sleep. I went upstairs, locked my door, then texted Michaela. Don't eat the food. I think it's drugged. A few minutes later, she texted back. Too late. Feeling dizzy. My heart sank. Without Michaela, I had to escape alone. Tonight, I packed a small bag, clothes, toiletries, the USB drive, and my small savings. I waited for my parents to go to bed. Around 10 p.m., I heard them. My mom knocked on my door. "Are you feeling any better?" "A little," I lied. "I'm just going to sleep." "Okay, sweetie. We'll check on you in the morning." I waited another hour until the house was silent. I quietly unlocked my door, peeked out. The hallway was dark. I tiptoed to Michaela's room. She was sprawled on her bed, fully dressed, snoring softly. I tried to shake her awake, but she just mumbled. They'd knocked her out. I had to leave her. I hated it, but I had no choice. I left a note. I had to go. "The USB drive has the evidence. Get it to the police if I don't make it." Then I crept downstairs, avoiding creaking steps. The house was eerily quiet. I reached the front door, about to unlock it, when a light switched on. "Going somewhere?" my dad asked. I spun around. He was in the living room, a glass of whiskey. He didn't look surprised. I was just... I stammered. "Running away?" he suggested. "That's not very grateful after everything we've done for you." I backed against the door. "What have you done for me? You killed my sister. You erased her from our lives. You're trying to replace her with Michaela." My dad stood slowly. "We gave you a perfect life, a perfect sister, and this is how you repay us?" "Katie was perfect," I said. "She was perfect, and you hurt her, and then you killed her." "Katie was weak." My dad spat. "She couldn't take discipline. She fought back. But you've always been the good one, the obedient one, until recently." He stepped toward me. I fumbled for the doorknob. "Stay away from me." "You're not going anywhere," he said, "especially not with that USB drive you think we don't know about." My blood ran cold. They knew. "Michaela told us everything," my dad continued. "About your little escape plan, about the evidence you think you have. Michaela had betrayed me. Or had they forced it from her? Either way, I was trapped." "It doesn't matter," I said, trying to sound brave. "I've already sent copies of the videos to other people. If anything happens to me, they'll go to the police." It was a lie, but his face darkened. "You're bluffing." "Am I? Are you willing to take that chance?" We stared at each other. Then my dad lunged, grabbing my arm. I screamed and kicked, broke free. I ran for the kitchen, looking for a weapon. My dad followed, and raged. "You ungrateful little brat. After everything we've done for you." I grabbed a knife, pointed it. "Stay back. I swear I'll use it." He laughed. "You don't have the guts. You're not like Katie. She had fire. You're just a pathetic copy." "I'm nothing like Katie," I agreed. "But that doesn't mean I won't protect myself." He stepped forward. I slashed the knife. He jumped back. I heard footsteps. My mom appeared. "What's going on?" she demanded. "Our daughter is threatening me with a knife." My dad said, "Calm now." My mom looked at me, then the knife. "Put that down, now." "No," I said. "Not until you admit what you did to Katie." "We didn't do anything to Katie," my mom insisted. "She died in a car accident. An accident you would have died in too if she hadn't saved you. She saved me from you." I shouted. "She knew what was coming. She knew you were planning to hurt us." "This is ridiculous," my mom said. "You're having some kind of breakdown. Put down the knife, and we can get you help." "I don't need help," I said. "I need the truth. I've seen the videos. I know what you did to her." My parents exchanged a look. "What videos?" my dad asked. "The ones on the USB drive. The ones showing you hurting Katie." My mom's face hardened. "There are no videos. There never were. This is just another one of your delusions." But I saw fear in her eyes. She was lying. "I've already sent them to Mrs. Peterson." I bluffed. "She has everything. The videos, Katie's diary entries, everything." My mom's face went white. "You're lying. Call her and find out." I challenged. "Or better yet, call the police. I'm sure they'd be very interested in those videos." My dad took a step. My mom put a hand on his arm. "Wait," she said. "We need to think about this." "There's nothing to think about," my dad growled. "She's bluffing." "And if she's not," my mom hissed. "If she really sent those videos to someone," they were scared. For the first time, truly scared. I pressed my advantage. "I'll make you a deal," I said. "Let me leave. Let me go stay with Mrs. Peterson. Don't try to stop me. Don't try to have me committed. And those videos stay private." My parents looked at each other. Finally, my mom nodded. "Fine," my dad said. "Go. But if those videos ever see the light of day, you'll regret it." I backed toward the door, knife pointed. "I'll be watching you. If anything happens to Michaela, if you try to hurt anyone else, the videos go public." I made it to the front door, fumbled it open, never taking my eyes off them. They stood in the hallway, cold eyes. I backed out onto the porch, turned, and ran. I ran all the way to Mrs. Peterson's house. It was after midnight. I rang her doorbell, gasping. She answered, concerned. "What on earth?" she began, then saw my face. "Come in, quickly." I collapsed on her couch, still clutching the knife. Mrs. Peterson's eyes widened. "What happened?" she asked. Between sobs, I told her everything: drugged food, Michaela's betrayal, the confrontation. I showed her the USB drive. She plugged it in. We watched one video, both of us crying. Mrs. Peterson hugged me. "You're safe now," she promised. "They can't hurt you anymore." The next morning, Mrs. Peterson called the police. They came, took my statement, and I gave them the USB drive. They promised to investigate, check on Michaela, make sure my parents couldn't hurt anyone else. It turned out Michaela hadn't betrayed me. My parents found the USB drive missing and assumed I took it. They drugged both of us at dinner, but I hadn't eaten enough. The police found Michaela still drugged in bed. They took her to the hospital. She woke up, confirmed my story. She told them about finding the USB drive, our escape plan, how my parents manipulated us. With the videos and our testimonies, my parents were arrested. The investigation revealed the car accident wasn't an accident. My dad tampered with the brakes, expecting both Katie and me to die. Katie's quick thinking saved my life, even as she sacrificed her own. Michaela and I both went into foster care, but we stayed in touch. She apologized for her role in my parents' manipulation, explaining they'd promised her a perfect family if she helped manage me. She hadn't known the full extent until it was almost too late. As for me, I finally got to properly mourn Katie. I visited her grave weekly, bringing her favorite flowers, telling her about my life. I kept her diary. The police found the torn pieces and helped me piece it back together, and read it when I missed her most. Sometimes, on the hardest days, I swear I could feel her presence, her hand on my shoulder, her voice in my ear, telling me everything would be okay. And for the first time since the accident, I believed her.